All right, it's February 3rd. Since we do advertising, marketing, and we use Google, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and a few other platforms to help businesses promote and advertise and sell goods and promote their services, I wanted to talk about how Apple versus Facebook is going to change the landscape of advertising a little bit. So, a lot of people don't pay any attention to it, but everybody knows how you visit a website and, for instance, you go to a website for umbrellas, and umbrellas ads will pop up for you all over the internet. Every time you visit a website, you'll get an ad about an umbrella or shoes or something that you recently visited. And that is because of what they use, because the websites have something on them called a tracking pixel. It's a 1 by 1 pixel, like one tiny dot. But because that pixel code is placed on the page, it sends information back to Facebook, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, the majority of the websites that you frequent on a daily basis. Even smaller sites have Facebook pixels added to them. So that's how the information is gathered. Facebook is one of the largest data gathering companies. It's basically a data gathering company. That is its main purpose now. Facebook is a data gathering company. Google is one. Apple is one to a degree, but they are a closed data gathering. And Apple has more respect for privacy than the rest of them. Maybe it's because Apple has a premium product on the front end. So since they sell you a premium product on the front end, they don't really try to exploit your information in the same way as a company that gives you a free product. So getting to, basically what the meat of it is. Apple has decided that their phones and their iOS is no longer going to automatically allow tracking pixels. So it will automatically block tracking pixels unless people opt in to have their activities on the internet tracked. And in doing so, it's going to make it more difficult for companies that use tracking pixels to pinpoint what it is that you're interested in for advertising. For instance, if you go to the Nike store or a Nike website to buy some Jordans and you're on an iPhone, that tracking pixel will be blocked. So a Jordans ad will not show up for you everywhere that you go because Facebook will no longer know that you are interested in purchasing Jordans. So it's changing the whole landscape. And if you notice that the landscape is changing across the board, I believe a lot of this pushback is people are just getting tired of big tech and big government trying to push a narrative and trying to exploit every single aspect, trying to ingest every single aspect of your life and regurgitate it back to you for monetary gain. So everything that you do is being tracked. And they take that information and use it to sell you more the stuff. This goes back to the same issue where Facebook has been manipulating the algorithms to determine the outcome of elections, to spur revolutions, to basically spread propaganda. And so instead of it being you just receiving the news and it Facebook being Facebook and some of these other platforms, but majority Facebook, being a place that's passive, it's become aggressive. So instead of you watching what you want to watch and seeing what you want to see, they have determined what it is that you want to see, and give you more of it. So even when you've had enough of watching people run into the Capitol building and things like that, or bad news, they will still continue to give you bad news. You get what I'm saying? So if whatever it is that you're watching, so if you watch cat videos, they will give you more cat videos. So you are really not, and it's done in such a way that you would think that that is the only information that is available. So it's a deceptive tactic. It's a passively aggressive, deceptive tactic that a lot of even marketers would like to do away with. I don't really subscribe to altering someone's feed for personal gain. So let me put you on pause. It's always a telephone call. Okay, sorry about that. Somebody was at the door. So what I was saying was, Facebook has changed the tracking pixel. Well, not Facebook, Apple. So they'll no longer be able to track it. Facebook got very, very, very upset about that. And has decided to, because it's going to change, it's going to alter their whole advertising model. And this is not the first time that Apple has challenged Facebook's authority. Facebook believes that they have the right to conquer the world with their passive aggressive actions. This is the second time that Apple has said no. Apple said no on the App Store, on having an App Store within the Apple App Store, and Apple has said no on these tracking pixels because people are becoming very concerned about privacy. So it's going to change the accuracy of the advertising that Facebook is currently providing. And Facebook is one of the major resources for placing ads for a lot of major businesses and small businesses alike. So bringing that into consideration, Facebook has decided to preempt what Apple is doing by asking people to opt in to being tracked. Now think about that a little bit. So Apple has said, look, okay, we're going to give people an option to opt in to tracking pixels or not. So Facebook said, okay, before we're going to get out ahead of Apple, and this is creating an adversarial relationship between Facebook and Apple. And because Apple is a closed system with a premium product and a hefty bankroll. See, this is a battle of the bullies. Apple being the closest to a good guy that we can find, and Facebook being the second most evil second to Google. So when Apple and Facebook go at it, I believe that Apple will prevail. But I see Facebook trying to take this as far as it goes. And so if Facebook doesn't move its primary use case to desktop, which it probably won't do because everyone in the world is pushing their primary use case to mobile, then they're going to have a serious problem delivering the same quality of ads that they have been delivering. So I just wanted to bring that information to light. I have a client here and I need to do some work with them. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.